First off, rest in peace, neighborhood Nip. I ain't crip, but I'm on that neighborhood shoot. Building business, it's that black owned. If you hustle, better hustle till your pack gone. If you work, better work till your back hurt. And if you rap, make it better than your last verse. Yeah, more lyrics.
AJ, El Presidente, Eddie Kane University. Hill gon' heal, regardless. You, Buchanan, Bethel High School, by way of 3-Man Weave, LLC.
Michelle, producer, Faith over here.
You can catch this wave from the Marlins to the Mariners. Doing things you can't believe. It's the 3-Man Weave.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? It is another episode of the 3-Man Weave podcast. I am your host, AJ, aka Mr. Williams. And this is episode 241. It's a sad day for the never mind.
Hey, it's a sad day. It's a sad day. I'm healed. I'm sure I'm gonna heal regardless. Oh man, man. We predicted this though.
Yeah.
So,
have you heard from Jalen?
Nah, I actually haven't, man. I ain't seen a post. I ain't seen nothing, man. I gotta check up on my boy, man. See if he good, man.
I'm gonna have to go ahead and hit him up because, hey, dog, 5.
Yeah.
And they had the thought game that that you and I have been saying that they gonna have every single series. Every single series is like, hey, how? And they did it.
It was a thought game of all thought game. But before we get too far in the NBA Finals, make sure y'all check us out on all major podcast platforms, 3-Man Weave, Instagram, Twitter, 3-Man Weave _. You can email us at podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com. Let's get right into it. So we predict. I know I had it in 6. I had the Celtics winning the finals in 6. What did you have, if you can remember?
I can't remember if I did 5 or 6, but I felt it would be. I probably did. I probably did 6. I don't think I would. I may have done 5. That episode you and I both discussed. That one's probably going to be hard for me to remember without actually going back to check. But it was definitely in 5 or 6. I didn't see this series going 7.
Yeah, man, we gotta I see a lot of the reports of the rhetoric of his the most boring finals. It wasn't entertaining and yada yada yada. I mean, sometimes it just happens like that.
But exactly, because here's my thing: whose fault was it that it was boring?
I mean, the Mavs.
Exactly. So it's like I can't blame the champions. Like, hey, y'all did what y'all was supposed to do. Y'all could have took care of business in 4. You gave them, they hit the B dubs button, said, hey, we got to at least get 5, and we want to win this thing in Boston. And they made it happen. And to me, if I'm on the winning side, again, I don't care if it's boring. I don't care if it's exciting. I don't care if it's a shootout. I don't care if it's a defensive struggle. As long as I come out on the winning side of that thing. So y'all can say it was boring. That's fine. Because guess what? In 20 years, when they talk about this finals and who won, they're not gonna say Jason Tatum got a finals and Luka don't. But it was boring. It was boring. So Luka's the more exciting player. He should have Celtics still got that ring.
They don't do that for the Spurs when they went against the Pistons that year in the finals. Like you say, that was boring. Yeah,
79-82.
That was some nasty basketball at that point. But you know how we normally do. Let's stick with let's go with the Mavericks first. Let's break the Mavericks perspective and let's touch on pause. Let's say why they lost and what they're gonna do going forward. I think the low hanging fruit is to just blame, Kyrie didn't show up, and in the games that were in Boston.
Well, Hill.
Games 1 and 2. Games 1 and 2, I can definitely say, all right, you know what? They right. He didn't show up. I mean, he didn't show up. I'm not vouching for him and saying that he did. But I do think that is the low hanging fruit that we could just put the whole series on Kyrie. And what I'm not about to do is put the whole series on Kyrie, because there's certain individuals that when the Mavericks won, they gave all the credit to Luka. I'm like, hold on
now. I'm with you there, because it's the same people that say, "Hey, you're the guy. Go out and do it." Because that's the same thing that people were saying. People making posts. Oh, Jaylen Brown is the real best player on the Celtics. He's the guy. This, and that. Had Kyrie been the leading scorer for the Mavs, would they have said that? Would they have said, "Oh, Kyrie is the real alpha on that team"? No.
Yeah, or he the closer and all that.
So my thing is, I get you there, but what I will say is, averaging 14 points in Boston,
yeah,
it's not okay.
I underestimated the hate that they still have for him. At some point, this is definitely dumbass naive of me. I was like, yo, they got to be over this, bro. Like, they've won.
Now,
let me finish.
Okay, okay.
I clearly stated it was the naive of me. Like,
Okay.
so you don't have to kick me while I'm down. While I'm already going to agree with everything, whatever you about to say. But they've already won whatever trade they got. Once he left, they've surpassed anything that they had with him. They went to the finals without him. He's never beaten them. You know what I'm saying? And well, to that one game in Dallas, like say, their record against him is crazy. I'm sitting to this point, like, bro, y'all shouldn't hate this man this much. So, and then they just came out in this, and I mean, they was full Boston, and I don't even believe that it was full hate. I believe it was an act, like an act that they were comfortable doing, is what I'm saying. It's like, oh, y'all want us to get crazy for him? Cool, say no more.
But here's my thing. My fault.
We know this gonna work.
Yeah, but my thing also is, Kyrie, again, he put this shit on himself. Because what was it? I think after game one, he said, I thought it would be louder. And so you know what?
Oh, don't worry about it.
Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. That hard R is finna fly from 30. And guess what?
Yeah.
Now you over here, puckering up in the crunch time. So they needed you, Kyrie. Hey, 12, 15, and I think 17. That from you, that's not enough.
That's not enough at all. But okay. Anybody else? Like anybody else? Like where was PJ? PJ gave us full goal. PJ showed up against the Thunder series and ain't played like that ever since. Funny thing about it is he ain't never played like that before anyway.
That's why I can't say like, oh, we supposed to expect that from PJ.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it was good that you got that from PJ. It was good that happened, leading up to the playoffs, because they might not have made it to the finals without PJ.
Absolutely.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes it's almost kind of like Linsanity. Hey, how much can we really expect that from you? You get what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to denigrate PJ, but
I mean, I am.
I don't think PJ is like what you would think of when you think of a number 3 on a championship roster. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so when you're not thinking about what PJ would be on a championship roster, he's more of not a high level number 3. He's a role player who just happens to be your third, scoring option. And like I said over and over and over, just like when we discussed in the bubble, on the road, that's when you separate your role players from your guys. And so not only did you have Kyrie Irving playing like a role player on the road, PJ Washington showed I'm a role player. I can't, I'm not Like when we're going up against like, championship caliber teams, you can't just always expect me to be this third leading, a reliable third option.
And like with and it's no, I'm not about to pile on the Mavs so much, but it's like what we were saying about this entire playoff. We got it drilled into our
They
head
got
again.
hot. They got hot.
It's not even
To
the
be
fact
quite
that
honest.
yes, they got hot, but they had favorable matchups. Like you say, they matched up well with the Clippers. The Clippers are who we know who the Clippers are, bro. You know what I'm saying? So and I said before the playoff, whoever wins that series is can go further. Boom. You get a not say a lucky, but yeah, you get a young, inexperienced Thunder team. Yeah, you get them. You get a Timberwolves team that don't match up with you. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it was, like I said, it's all about matchups, and they look good doing it. They made Jason Kidd was making adjustments. Dudes was showing up. Like you said, we had a PJ Washington show up against the Thunder when they was when their game plan was for him to beat you, and he was like, "Okay, I'm going to beat you." Like we had another go. We got to get Gobert off the floor when it comes to the Timberwolves. You know what I'm saying? We had Luka showing up. Luka was looking like Luka, and also Kyrie was definitely showing to Kyrie, reminding folks of who he really was. Let's not act like he wasn't before, like he wasn't doing this thing. It was a reason why some people were picking the Mavs to win this series. Now, what did we say? Celtics matched up very well with them. Problem I think I had ultimately, everybody started to look regular. Like you said, everybody got hot, they cooled off. Because where was Gafford? Where was Lively?
Exactly. Yep.
Like I said, I'm not about to put too much over Hardy and Josh Green. They're young. You know what I'm saying? Tim Hardaway was out the rotation, got back in the rotation, got back out the rotation again. Like it's nothing we can do. Max Kleber, he had no confidence in the shot coming off his injury. It's like, okay, bro, it got to the point when you looking at Jason Kidd like, what can you do? Because he played everybody he possibly could.
Of course. And like we said, we're not going to do too much on the Mavs. And contrary to popular beliefs, I'm not really going to pile on Kyrie. I'm not going to pile on the other role players. But from what y'all always talk about, the superstar players, they just got to get it done. And to me, an underrated thing that not everybody's talking about is Luka shot 58% from the free throw line.
Mm-hmm. But
like, that's disgusting. Like, am I reaching?
No, it's not. It's not that you're not reaching. That's one of those things that you said about your team when you talk about the Suns and when they ultimately lost, you were like, the things that we wasn't doing well came to rear their ugly head. He wasn't shooting well from the free throw line in the Timberwolves series, but nobody cared. He ain't a good, not say he ain't a good free throw shooter, but he ain't been shooting well at the free throw line.
But that's my thing.
But nobody cared because, like you say, you throw out the stat sheet, he still got a triple double. You know what I'm saying? But when it mattered, when did it matter? On the biggest stage, right?
Yeah.
You shooting 58% is unacceptable.
Right. And then my thing is, not only is he shooting 58% from the free throw line, like he's always been, that's one of the things I had an issue with him earlier, being a high volume 3-point shooter. Those 3-pointers wasn't falling like they normally do too. So it's just like, now you're missing the easy buckets because you're missing the free throw. Like you're not getting those free throws. You're like making just over half of your free throws. You're, taking, the 3-pointers. And then, like we already said, they got all of these bodies to throw at you when you're trying to drive, and they sending all of these fresh dudes at you. So they're just going to keep making it harder. And that's why you're going to start settling for these 3-point shots. And not only that, we can throw fresh bodies at you, but we got enough bodies to throw at the rest of these guys to make it harder. And we can still let you feel like you like loading up the stat sheet, but we finna shut them down. And so if you're not efficient, it's only gonna look bad. And that's why some of them games like, oh, let me go ahead and turn this.
It's getting out of hand. Like
because he, you know what I'm saying? And so that's why the same way, people want to, blame the leaders of the team, you got to blame him. Like, regardless of, he wasn't shooting well from free throw when it, but it didn't matter because they were winning. Well, guess what? You wasn't winning now. And so you need to make your free throws. You have to. And so it's the same way, like People will talk about, oh, LeBron is scared to hit free throws, in crunch time. Hey, Luka, if they just gonna send you to the line, my boy, guess what? And you gonna miss it? Cool. We can do this. We can do this all day. And let's see. And Everett, he said he should have been prepared to take the scoring load off Luka and Kyrie. No, ain't nobody's supposed to take the scoring load off of Luka and Kyrie. That's what they're there for. They're there to bear the brunt of the scoring. Everybody was saying the best scoring backcourt, blah, 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 blah.
And once again, here we go with this premature hype.
Exactly.
It's hyperbole that we got going on that we got to do with TV that they don't have to do, bro. It's like we sitting there, like, for example, first take, Stephen A. had him in the, I got him in the best back, kept the top 5 of all time. You take them out of your top 5 because they win. Why were they in there in the first place? Like we're doing too much, man. We're doing too much. But we would get back to the Western Conference after this.
Let's talk about the champs. Let's spend too much time on them losers.
Exactly, man. They did. Did they cut on the switch?
Bro, no.
I believe so. I believe they did.
I can't say that they cut on the switch because weren't they the best team all year? Number 1 seed. Didn't they basically win every series in the same way? I feel like they
No.
I'm talking about just by basically having that thought game. And it's just like, all right.
No.
Like, so here's my thing. Like, I get what you're saying by cutting on the switch because the way that they kind of put the pressure on the Mavs, I think is what you're kind of saying, and really made the Mavs look bad, maybe. But I think that, again, styles make fights. And like we said, when you are Kyrie and Luka dependent, Jason Kidd was he was pushing some of the right buttons, but you didn't have the depth necessary to compete with the Boston Celtics. So maybe they were on cruise control, and then come the finals, they hit that cancel reset button and then started putting their foot on the gas. But I don't know if they flipped the switch and they was just like, we can do this whenever we want. I feel like they would still go. I feel like all playoffs they was going 75. But then they got to the finals. It was like, the speed limit is 70. We can do about 85. And then Kristaps came back. And that first game set the tone. So if we go say Kristaps is the flip switch that really said, hey, like, let's just go ahead and put our foot on the gas, then cool. But I think Sam Hauser was standing by the door for a second too, saying, no, we ain't gotta win it. So I don't know.
Did they play 2 games without Porzingis?
Yeah, they did. But what I'm saying is how it started, that just set the tone.
But the reason why I said that they flipped the switch was because, okay, we all talked about they had a thought game each series, which they did. It was a couple games that they had against Miami that they just didn't just blow Miami out the water, bro. You know what I'm saying? They had go ahead. Go ahead.
The reason why I say Miami was going to give them a hard, like, sometimes that stuff in the East, Miami has always given them problems. Shit, like Miami bounced them out. You know what I'm saying? So what
about the tough game in Cleveland without Donovan Mitchell?
Without Donovan Mitchell, they even though Cleveland has, they had their issues, they have a lot of size that Dallas don't have. So that can give them a little bit of trouble and make them play certain, ways to kind of force them to kind of clog up the paint. They still have some athletes that can make, Jason Tatum take those tough shots that he liked to take. So I think, again, they match up to kind of give them issues. And then what about the Pacers?
And what about the Pacers when they played all those games without Halliburton?
They still pushed the pace, and that gave Boston some issues. They pushed that pace, and it gave them issues. Did the Mavs push the pace?
No.
Did they have some big defensive some defensive stoppers in the paint that could really give Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown problems by clogging up the paint and making them, kind of live and die by the three a little bit more.
Yes, they had defenders. They had Gafford and Lively for that.
They had Gafford and Lively, but they didn't have Gafford and Lively that played in the OKC series or the Timberwolves series.
Whose fault is that? That's their fault.
That's the Mavs' fault. So again,
they flipped that switch. They flipped that switch and made it shit look different, bro. They beat the brakes off these games. Three out of their 4 wins were blowouts.
Of course, but again, you still got things where it's like, hey, Derek White blocking Lively shots at the rim. You know what I'm saying? It was like they throwing bodies it's almost like they were doing the small ball, and Jason Kidd, he was still trying, he tried to counteract that with going big, but your bigs ain't they ain't cut like that.
And think about
not with these scores that they got.
With Max Kleber not being confident in his injury, being able to shoot, he couldn't even go to that. Like I said, his hands was tied behind his back the way the Celtics were playing. And the saying what I'm saying is they turned it up a notch. I feel that if you looked at the series, like you said, they was the analogy you put, they was in cruise control. And when they got to the final, I think they heard all the noise of, oh man, we don't never finish the deal. We came up short. You know what I'm saying? They don't believe in us. And they use all that negative energy and bottled it up and actually looked like a juggernaut. They even in the regular season, bro, they wasn't looking like a juggernaut. Yes, they was winning and cruising through the regular season, being the number 1 team overall, but they were not they weren't dominating everybody, bro. Like they look in that finals. That finals team that they just put out looks like a dynasty in the making. Can they continue that? We will see. But I'm just saying that the performance that they put out, that's why people think it was boring, because it wasn't competitive. They got your ass whooped today.
Where your pride at? That Hill voice.
And they got him one. The pride got him one.
And again, I'm talking to you, Kyrie.
Nothing he can do. Nothing he can do, bro.
Not 12 points. Hey, it's something you could do.
Not when the matchup is not your,
Not when everybody was coming into the series. Everybody, Kyrie, the best skilled basketball player I've ever seen. Kyrie Cole. Hey.
But the Celtics, man. I mean, Joe Mazzulla pushed every right button, which we thought, hey man, he got the coaching disadvantage. You know what I'm saying? He was actually looking like the better coach. He pushed every button correctly. His matchups, his rotations were perfect. Damn. Excuse me. Yeah, that's crazy. I tried to stop it, but almost died. Yeah, I almost died. But like I said, he used Porzingis in the right moments. Porzingis got injured again, and he didn't, overkill it, probably like Tibbs would have did or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Al Horford showed up. Old ass Al Horford played great. You know what I'm saying? Derek White did what Derek White did. Drew Holiday, you got a Drew Holiday game alongside of Drew Holiday still being Drew. The bench, Pritchard and Hauser. With the Tillman, they had some moments.
Xavier Tillman, yeah. But that's what I'm saying. It was like the Celtics went too deep, pause, and they had so many contributors that you can't. The Mavs couldn't match that step for step. They couldn't, because we can go damn near 8 deep and get double digit performances from some of these guys. You know what I'm saying? Like when I can't remember who said it, but they said, hey, when Xavier Tillman hit a corner three, the series is over.
I forgot he was even on the team, bro.
I forgot he was in the league. I forgot about Xavier Tillman in general.
I want him on my
No, I get that, but I was like, hold on, wait, like that Xavier Tillman.
Well, what was funny about the last episode that we said, we was like, oh man, everybody was pushing this narrative that Jaylen Brown was the best player, and Jaylen Brown was consistent the entire playoff, not poo-pooing nothing that he did. He showed up. He was Jaylen Brown.
Of course.
But you said something funny. You said You was being funny, but you was like, man, Jason Tatum scored 50. Then what? He ain't scored 50, but he
had a
back-to-back
game.
30s.
He had a game. But that's what I'm saying. And so my thing is, now what? People gonna look back and say, oh, Jason Tatum don't have a finals MVP. So the fuck what? He led the team in points, rebounds, assists. You get what I'm saying?
Points, rebounds, again. Like, again.
Yeah, again. And so you mean to tell me just because he didn't get the finals MVP, that means he's not the best player? You know what I'm saying? Here's my thing. Just like I thought Tatum with those last couple games, he definitely put himself in the conversation to earn it. I was like, I'm not gonna say I was shocked that he didn't get it, but it was like, okay, they went to Jaylen Brown because Jaylen Brown, I guess they tossed in defense in there as well. But to me, it's like,
hey, don't minimize it.
No, I'm not saying that, but I guess they tossed in defense in there as well. And I'm like, one, it ain't like Jason Tatum don't play defense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not forget that. Like, those last couple games, you kind of put Jaylen Brown on to Jason Tatum. But again, it's the same thing that I said with Anthony Edwards. Damn, Anthony Edwards got to go out here, guard Kyrie, guard Luka, and then you want him to be the number one scorer. And so that's the thing. Jason Tatum was your leading scorer. He's your leading playmaker. He's your leading man on the boards. Like, maybe you don't want him guarding Luka like every single possession. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not that he can't guard Luka. And so it's this like, and that's the thing. And so it's just like, this, like, for me, I don't see how it could, like, this could change your perception of anything that Jason Tatum has done. Even with some of the bad games that he had, he still was the guy.
I think,
to me, this should elevate your thinking on Jaylen Brown in my idea. Because like just last offseason, we was talking about bro can't dribble with his left hand. He can't necessarily dribble, but he can like bounce it twice and pull up with his left.
I text you right before the game ended. And I was like, "Yo, Tatum gonna get MVP," and we agreed that he gonna get MVP. I think they had their mind made up already.
Yeah, they definitely had their mind made up because you can kind of tell the narrative was getting pushed already. And just like we talk about with coaches, how the media can get you fired. Hey, the media can get you awards too.
Yeah, they get you paid and all that. But the thing is, like we said, and then what? We're having a conversation that's not going to matter till his career is over. And like I said, once we nitpicking dumb shit about, oh man, he got this many finals, but man, he ain't got no MVP. He got no finals MVP. That's how I got to give him the edge. I can't rank him over KD because just for example of some of the stupid stuff that we say when we have some of these debates. It's just we're having a conversation that doesn't matter now. They won, like we said, they won.
Yeah,
they won, and they have potential. They have the potential for dynasty loading. Now, this is on the ownership if they want to continue to do this. Now, the collective bargaining is about to start this year. The new collective bargaining that they got it. They already a tier 2 team. You know what I'm saying? Now, they've already paid. The smart thing about it, though, they got ahead of this. They already paid everybody. I think they gave Porzingis a little extension. They gave Drew Holiday an extension. Derek White is extended. They already paid Jaylen Brown. They got, they can still pay Jason Tatum. They're going to pay Jason Tatum that big ass max. And it's nothing that nobody can do. Nothing that the league can do because they already on their team. It's on the fact that if you want to pay these taxes, you can pay these taxes. They don't have to pay nobody else. Like I said, Pritchard, dirt cheap. Hauser, dirt cheap. Like I said, we just found out Xavier Tillman was on the team. Dirt cheap. Cornette, dirt cheap. You know what I'm saying? Horford coming back, he gonna be dirt cheap. So they can at least run it back.
Dirt old too, though.
They can come it back. They can run it back as long as they're willing to keep paying this.
Of course. And you know me, Brad Stevens, I want to give Brad Stevens credit. I said it a couple times, being able to step aside and realizing what role he kind of fit best within this organization. But I do want to say is, sometimes, you and I have this discussion of running it back. versus what you should do. Again, don't go out and try and get no superstar. One, you can't really go and afford that. But what I do want to say is don't just like stand pat, because these other teams are going to try and get better. They are going to try and do things to get better. And, you don't want to just be like, all right, I'm going to run it back. And then some of these other teams that are in this conference that, had dealt with some injuries that, may have been, a piece away or something like that, make an upgrade and really overtake you. And so I understand you have your core, but continue to make sure that if you can upgrade some of these, role players, I would try. I'm not saying, go out and break the bank, but if you can find I'm just like, if you can upgrade a Peyton Pritchard, if you can upgrade a Sam Hauser, I would try it. I'm not, but again,
not with this collective bargain. With this collective bargain, they can't do nothing. They can't. You understand what you can do
with the April works. I understand. But if
they better keep it, they somebody like Peyton Pritchard, they need to keep him as long as they can. You know what I'm saying? The team that they have, they just need to just run it back, and just pray for health. It's just for that situation.
Yeah, but sometimes, like me, sometimes if an opportunity arises, I think you should look at it, because again, like we said, with injuries, Giannis might come back healthy, and who knows what him and Dame can do in another year, together, or whatever the case may be. I'm not saying with Doc that they're gonna do it, but I'm saying in the playoffs that could be a tough roadblock for you. Who's to say Joel Embiid and Maxey, get another star player because they got a slot, and Embiid stays healthy, knock on wood. You know what I'm saying? Who knows what the Heat can do, because they always give people trouble. Tom Thibodeau, he might get somebody, in New York, add another piece, and all 6 of his players go and play 137 minutes in, a playoff game and give you trouble defensively. So I'm just saying.
And don't dismiss the Pacers. The Pacers may not just rest on their laurels. They may try to make a move and it could be a threat. So the East is just not going to be a cakewalk as we assume. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's about what these other teams can do. Yes, right now, depending on the free agency that the Sixers have and the Joel Embiid health, we'll see what they can do. Other than that, it's going to be their mental fortitude. It's going to be the only thing. Like I say, it's different being the hunted. We've seen it. And
that's all I'm saying, because again,
we had 6 different NBA champions in a row.
And it's very similar to what I was talking about, kind of like with the Nuggets. Like, y'all got the target on your back.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you run it back, a lot of teams are looking to make the adjustments. And sometimes you can just rest on your laurels and be like, hey, it's kind of like how when the Bengals had to play, a team at the end of the season, like we had like the Jets at the end of the season, and we beat them or something like that, or we blow them out. And then we think, oh, we got the game plan. Come playoff time, they beat the shit out of us, because guess what? They made the adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
Because they said, well, yeah, we know what we did wrong. They don't care what they did wrong, because they just see everything that they did right. So sometimes it comes to that too, because, maybe they got to figure out, hey, how can we avoid these thought-ass games? Because maybe if we catch up with some teams that's 100% healthy, one thought-ass game can lead to 2, can lead to 3, and can lead to 4, and sending our asses home.
Well, the thing about it is, the thing about them, let's say the Celtics, since Tatum has been there, they've been to the Eastern Conference Finals. We can go ahead and just write that down. They've been to the Eastern Conference Finals. Now they know what it takes to actually win a final. So, like I said, can they continue to have that once again, being the hunted? So it's going to be different. Like I said, it's definitely going to be different being the hunted. Like I said, just the fact that they already got one. Like I said, those thought games could turn in, like you just said, could turn into 2. Be like, oh man, we playing with our food, bro. You know what?
And I want to do something so we can make sure we have this clipped up.
All right.
Hey, Jalen, are they battle tested now?
All right.
That's all. Because I mean, only one of the teams was in the finals before, like I said.
It
Well,
was
and they role players. They was playing on the road.
I
Drew
told,
like I mentioned, Drew Holiday. He's a champion, right?
I'm
What
back.
what he do? Had that Drew Holiday
And
game.
that Drew, because he been there before.
He been there before.
Speaking of Drew Holiday, remember when everybody was sad for him when he got traded? Everybody had the violins out because his wife was mad that they got traded from Milwaukee. You mad now? Are they mad now? Are we gonna have a dumbass letter from her? You know, this come around this offseason because he got traded. That's why I ain't budge. That's why I ain't budge. I ain't have no sympathy, no empathy, no none of that.
It's a business, dog.
And you know this,
man.
And look, and we're not gonna get
okay. Let's not do that.
Shouts out to Drew. Shouts out to Derek White. Shouts out to Jaylen Brown. Shouts out to Jason Tatum. Shouts out to Al Horford, Porzingis, Pritchard, Hauser, Xavier Tillman. You know what I'm saying? Everybody on the Celtics. Shouts out
Joey
to them.
Joey Maz.
But let's talk about the West though. And I don't know. I do know we had 6 NBA champions and different NBA champions in a row. We haven't had a repeat. I think the only team that went back to the finals twice in that span was the Celtics, if I'm correct. I'm freestyling at the moment, so you can correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I ain't gonna correct you. Go ahead, freestyle.
If I go back to y'all, when y'all went to the finals, y'all didn't get back to the Western Conference Finals, right?
Right.
I don't think no team in the Western Conference that went to the finals or won has gotten back to the Western Conference Finals. So we talk about how tough the West is. We are actually seeing the results.
Mm-hmm.
Like you say, when the Warriors won, they ain't been back to the Western Conference Finals. Suns went to the finals, they ain't been back to the Western Conference Finals. Everybody was ready to give a dynasty to the Nuggets. They didn't even get back to the Western Conference Finals. Lakers, they didn't get to the Western Conference Finals. Like,
well, yeah, I did.
We got to the Western Conference. We ain't get back.
You ain't get to the finals. Is that what you were saying?
Matter of fact, we was the only team that got back.
You was the only team that got. Yeah,
you right.
Yep.
We part of the 6. Okay. All right. Shout out to us. But as you can see, like you said, like you mentioned, you said that the Mavs got hot, and I kind of gave you some pushback. I said it was all about matchup. It was all about the matchups pretty much. Because like you say, when we talk about all those teams, when we talked about those first 6 teams in the West, we wouldn't have been surprised that none of those teams got to the Western Conference Finals or to the finals except the Thunder, because the Thunder, this was their first year in the playoffs. We'd only been surprised if that was the
but
fact.
they had a legit, like they could have done it. They had the talent to do it.
Yes, they showed they when their series, you know how we normally do, we fix the team. We seen that they had some holes in their rosters, trying to make some improvement. We've seen some things that the Mavs need now. Like I say, they need a 3-and-D. They need an upgrade from Derrick Jones. They need somebody from that role that can score. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that this particular player. They need a Mikal Bridges.
God no.
Of that caliber. I'm not saying they're going to get him because he's going to cost too much money, but I'm just saying they need somebody of that caliber for that role, because they need a defender, and they need when Kyrie not scoring, when Luka's not getting it done, or getting picked on defense, they got somebody that's a legitimate stopper.
They better look. They better put Josh Giddey with a poster on his back that say "We'll trade for food." Like anybody, get him up out of there for a 3-and-D. I don't care who he is. Josh Giddey don't seem like he out there playing basketball like he actually know what he's doing when he play basketball.
So we can see. So we, like I said, we can't keep saying that the West is tough. We can't keep saying it just for saying it. Like, I'm definitely not going. I'm not so sure that the Mavs is just going to get back to the final, and I'm not even sure is that a problem. You just lost.
Bro, I don't think again, because here's my thing. What we have, and this has always been my issue about like putting so much emphasis on rings. You forget a lot of the shit that goes on within this. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, damn, you just got to the finals, and now it's like, yo, y'all didn't even really expect us to get to the finals because it wasn't like we was like a top 3 seed. It wasn't like we was the best team. Again, the matchups played in our favor, and we made it there. So it's like I get there, and now it's like, damn, it's just get back again, or it's a failure. Like, is that an indictment on Luka if he don't get back to the finals again next year?
It might not be. I mean, that's gonna be a whole career type of answer for me. Because, like I say, we keep praising him as one of them ones that he's he one of the best in the league, and say he's just in that. So we hold you to a certain standard, right? So his bare minimum is the Western Conference Finals. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has to take his team to Western Conference Finals. If he's deemed one of those ones, if this team is one, they figured it out. But think about it. They'll have a full year. They'll have a full year with PJ Washington. They have a full year with Gafford. Jerry Lively will be a second year. They'll have they can actually expand on their roles. They actually can know how to, this is how PJ really like to get the ball. This is his spot. This is where we can actually get him easily 10 points right here. And then he can go get 6. He can go get 6 on his own. So next thing you know, he averages 16 and be like, okay, we got a consistent 16, we got a consistent score. I'm just saying, like, it can happen.
Yeah, we shall see. We shall see.
It's no different from how people thought about the Nuggets, though, bro. Like, you thought the Nuggets was just was the best team in the league when they won, and Jokic was about to just dominate the league and go to the whole run. Like I said, they didn't get back to the Western Conference Finals because what? They had flaws on their roster.
Of course. But again, their flaws came from just being content, resting on their laurels and running it back. That's what I mean about like continuing to take those steps to not just get better, but stay ahead of the curve too.
I'm not sure because they paid it. I say Jamal Murray is paid, Jokic is paid, Aaron Gordon is paid, Michael Porter Jr. is paid. You know what I'm saying? Like, how much more? Like, how much more we want them to do? Like, they were supposed to have Christian Braun to step up. They supposed to have some dudes to step up. Like,
but again, that's that same thing we say about GMs in football. Don't talk to me about taking no pay cut. You get paid to bring talent in here. Do your job. Bring some talent in here. Like, make the tough decision. Like, whether it is you got to package somebody up and try and send them out and get some. So a high upside player that may fit your system. Do some scouting. Do what you got to do. But you got to make upgrades somewhere.
But they just lost.
I understand. But no, it's not, because it's not just you just lost.
You just lost.
But here's my thing: you lost. These other teams are gonna try and get better too. The same teams that you lost to, they all just ain't running it back, right? They gonna try and get better. OKC, they gonna try and get better, right?
Yeah, because they was ahead of schedule. So you can go through the list.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. If they was ahead of schedule and they now trying to make moves to not only get on schedule but kickstart things, now are they gonna overtake the Nuggets?
Not necessarily. I mean, Jokic ain't going nowhere.
Jokic may not be going nowhere, but neither is SGA, neither is Chet. They got room. They got money to add other people. So that's what I'm saying. So just because Jokic ain't going nowhere, don't mean just, Jokic ain't going nowhere. Jamal Murray ain't going nowhere. But like you said, we have flaws on our team. You better address some of that, because those same flaws can come bite you in the ass. It's the same thing with the Timberwolves. Hey, y'all might want to address some of this stuff. I don't know. Like, even if you got to figure out, okay, hey, Rudy, you do good to get us where we need to be, but come playoff time, if they're going to play you off the floor, we need somebody else. But like, you got to try and fit. You have to, like I said, that's what GMs are for. Like,
but they
don't just make your team to beat a team because you might have to beat a different team.
That's most of the problem that most of these teams fall into. They fall into the fact that, I can just beat this team. Like I say, yeah, like the Timberwolves, they was built to beat the Nuggets, but you didn't stand a chance to get the Mavs.
And that's my point. And that's my point. Don't like I mentioned this in football a while ago when I said if we draft Penei Sewell, we draft Penei Sewell to win the AFC North. We draft Jamar Chase, we draft Jamar Chase to win a Super Bowl. Yeah. And that's how we compete with the Chiefs. And you got to look at it like that. It's like, yeah, you got these players to beat this team. You got these players to, be competitive in the West. But you need to have plenty of people to put points on the board, because guess what the name of the game is? Scoring. You got to score more than the other team to win the game. Regardless of how good you play defense or whatever the case may be, you got to score more points. And again, it's like, maybe you get another year of Jaden McDaniels, he might take a step.
Yeah.
But you can't just he got to put some weight on him. He can't just be out there getting bullied by Luka and stuff like that. He got to put some weight on him. He got to expand his offensive game. You can't just be relying on Anthony Edwards and that's it. So that's what I mean. You got to figure it out. You got to make these adjustments.
Yeah, it's a fine line though, because you can say
I'm not saying it's not a fine line, but what I'm saying is you got to walk it. You got to walk it.
My team did exactly what you said. We won the championship and made some changes in preparation for some things that never happened. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know it, the chemistry and the cohesiveness was just gone. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to bring my team into it, but here's they done that. They done this whole philosophy that you're saying.
Exactly. But here's my thing. There's teams that do it the opposite way. It's the same way where I was like, man, let's live. I don't want to bring in Chris Paul. Let's keep this core that we got, Ricky Rubio and kind of run this back. But then I say, I understand why you want to make this move, but I feel like, we trying to kickstart our trajectory. You bring in Chris Paul, you in the goddamn finals. I'm like, all right, well, it's further than we ever been before.
Yeah, but that's a totally different from bringing in Chris Paul than a Ricky Rubio.
But what I'm saying is sometimes you got to take that chance, because again, it was no guarantee that you bring in Chris Paul and then we actually and then that actually worked. It's no guarantee that we bring in Chris Paul and we even make it that far, but you did. So it's just like a game. The game is a game of chance, but you also got to do what you can to give yourself the best chance. And sometimes just staying pat ain't the best, because guess what? That's how you get jumped. That's how people kind of start going over you in the pecking order.
I mean, we'll see. That's not necessarily a hindsight type of thing that I want to respond to, but like I said, because it can go either way. We've seen both. We've seen both.
That's all I'm saying.
Like I said, speaking of the Celtics, we've seen the Celtics go to the Eastern Conference Finals with Isaiah Thomas, and they say, "Oh, let's go get Kyrie because Kyrie's better because he's better than Isaiah Thomas." And then next thing you know, he wrecks the whole chemistry, right?
And then we also said, "Oh, nah, you can't trade Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart is the heartbeat of this team. You bring in Drew Holiday." I'm saying people.
Okay.
Did we not hear people say that too? You can't mess up the chemistry. He's the heartbeat of this team. He's the heart, soul, and grit of this team. And you bring in Drew Holiday, but then guess what? You bring in Drew Holiday, you win a chip. That's what I'm saying.
But I was specific.
Drew Holiday is better than Marcus Smart.
And I know you was just making a point, but
I'm not saying you. I said people.
Don't break this core up. I'm like, don't break this core up. Go get rid of Marcus Smart though. You know what I'm saying? I know you were just making a point, but it hit close to home with me.
All right. Lower your tone when you talk to me, though.
Or what?
You seen how little homie got dragged to the parking lot when he came off the line? That's gonna be you.
Never. What are you talking about?
Yeah. All right. I seen you run a route before.
What does that mean? I seen you run a route before.
That shit was crisp.
No, it was not. We was there.
Shit was crisp. I was cooking you.
Nope.
I was cooking you.
We got to stop with the lies on here, bro. At some point.
It's okay.
You know
It's
what I'm saying?
okay.
It's not the live is not okay.
All right.
All right, man.
Well,
We had a
speaking of
fight.
boxing,
Yeah, because you was about to.
speaking of boxing,
We had a fight this weekend. Definitely, to me, it lived up to the promotion. It lived up to what they had going on. Shouts out to Amazon Prime. Shouts out to the fighters. And I think everybody, I mean, the undercard was living up to undercard that I saw.
right?
And then the main events they did was exactly what they were supposed to do. Benavidez, you know what I'm saying, moved up in weight, and he looked like Benavidez.
Took
You know
care
what
of
I'm saying?
business. That's all you can ask for.
Controlled the fight. You know what I'm saying? It never was a worry. His opponent definitely looked better than what I gave him credit for. He just wasn't on his level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it was exactly what we predicted, what we asked for. Benavidez was just like I said, every round, it was levels. He showed it was levels, you know what I'm saying? But it was a quality opponent, even though he did go up in weight. He showed that he was comfortable at that weight. And it was a good, not say tune up, but it was a good first fight in that weight. If he's going to continue to
It was
stand.
a good test to see how you carry the weight, how your
Mhm.
stamina holds up, how you feel around, how moving around the ring, how your legs feel. Do you still got your power? Do you still got your speed? All of that.
They asked Jim Gray asked him after the fight, was he going to who he's going to fight next or what he was going to do next. Like he said, he said he can go back down to 168. I think he said it was another belt that he had to go get. I don't remember the opponent that he was referring to, but I definitely do know that the Bevo and what's his name? I know it's please help me with the name, bro. It ain't Benavidez, but it's Andre.
Better BF.
Thank you. God.
And it's Arthur. Arthur
It,
better
it,
BF.
it was something. Yeah, damn. I'm sitting there like, nigga, help me. Like,
I mean, shit, you had to give me a hint. You just saying,
I gave you a hint, bro. Because
Because
I know he was the winner if he fighting Bevo next. They
Yeah.
fighting soon. So he want the winner of that. That's who I want to see him again. I don't care about him going back down to 168 at all. That's me personally. I know he's not going. This Canelo thing is not happening. I can see this. He didn't gave up. He didn't vacated another belt again. So I'm giving up on this fight. So this Bevo and who your man's?
Arthur better BF.
Thank you. Better business, bro. Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying. I want to see that fight first. I do want to see that fight though. But I do want
that's gonna be a great fight. Again, it's a different beast up there, and so those boys at 175, they're a little bit different. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So Usyk better BF. I understand, but again, like we saw Canelo move up against Bevo, and he didn't look like Canelo
at all.
And once you start really climbing them ranks, it's different. Because again, let's not forget where Canelo started. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So going all the way up that's a different beast. So it may be a little bit different for Benavidez, and he may be able to carry it a little bit different. We got to forget that at one point in time, Canelo was fighting Floyd Mayweather at welterweight.
I did say that if Canelo fought him again, it would look like a way different fight, because I think that he figured it out towards the end of the fight. I think he was figuring it out. His power didn't translate,
right?
But he didn't stay at that weight. So of course I don't want to see that again at all. But like I said, if Benavidez stays I want him personally to stay at this weight, and I want him to, I want that fight next. That's me.
Yeah, because what I will say, he has the height to carry it. You know what I'm saying? So
I think that's naturally his weight anyway.
Like, yeah, and so that's what I'm saying. So he has the height to carry it. Like he's 6'2". You know what I'm saying? So you 6'2", making 168. He's cutting weight, and so he's usually been the bigger fighter. I think Canelo Alvarez, he went up to fight Bevo at 175, and he's like, what is he, like 5'9"? He might be shorter than that. You know what I'm saying? And so to go up there and then to fight Bevo and those big guys at under average height for an adult male, that's a challenge. And again, like I said, I respect Canelo for moving up in those ranks and trying to do that because again, like it's only been a certain handful of fighters to really start branching out and be multiple division world champs. And so he took a shot and it just didn't work out because he didn't just go up and just fight somebody who just happened to get some vacated belts. He went up and fought one of them ones.
Yeah.
So I respect him for that. But like I said, I think even if David Benavidez doesn't get this Canelo fight, which I don't think he will, I think him being able to carry that weight at 175 can help him look better against Bevo or better Biev or something like that. And who knows? Like I believe I may be tripping, but I heard he called out Usyk at like a catch weight, if I'm not mistaken.
I didn't hear that, but I know he's dealing with retirement rumors as well.
Yeah, but what I am gonna say is, even if you ain't, dog, don't
do it.
Don't do that. Don't do that. So yeah, but Benavidez got some options.
Yeah, like you said, I'm definitely excited to see the Bill DeVoe versus Bevo, and I hope he gets the winner of that. I hope it goes in that fashion. Tank Davis, man.
He's starting to prove how smart he is as a boxer, and to me, as he's starting to move up in competition, you're starting to realize he has chinks in his armor defensively, but he has like the power to kind of negate those mistakes before they hurt him. And when I'm saying he has chinks in his armor defensively, I'm not calling him a bad defensive fighter. But what I do say is he gets hit flush he gets hit flush sometimes, especially when somebody is putting pressure on him. Like we saw in that Ryan Garcia fight. Ryan Garcia was putting pressure on him, but Ryan Garcia got sloppy. Freddie Martin had some moments where he was putting some pressure on him and he was touching Tank Davis up, but
he didn't
have the power, and Frank Martin got sloppy before Tank did. You know what I'm saying? Like to get caught flush. And so that's what I'm saying, where it's like, and I think, we heard Shakur, saying, bring his man. He again, if you don't have the power to put Tank down, he's gonna be like, okay, that's cool. It's almost like a pit bull. Like, yeah, all right, you scratching, you clawing, you biting, but when I bite, I don't let go. It ain't no coming back. And that's kind of like what you've seen in these last two fights against kind of like step ups and some of his past opponents. And again, I think this is actually prime for him to make a Shakur Stevenson fight, because again, I think he might get Shakur out there early because he's gonna walk through Shakur's punches, because we haven't seen Shakur really look like, he want to get in there and bang and try and knock somebody out. And I don't think he has the gloves, the pop in his gloves to do that.
The thing about, I think they're talking about Lomachenko next though.
Yeah, and I think especially coming off of what Lomachenko, like that performance he had against Devin Haney, I feel like, he didn't put himself back up in that category, but he made himself a valid opponent for some, for these top guys again after that performance against Devin Haney.
Yeah, he made it
because he's older, you know what I'm saying? So he's older, and so I think it's like now it's a way. It's kind of like what I said about Floyd sometimes, like where you can go ahead and just get that name from the older guy and kind of just like add that notch to your belt.
It's just the fact that I think that when we talk about certain fighters, that's I guess the next for Tank. If he don't feel their power at all, like they in for a night. And like
Yeah.
and if they don't stick to their game plan of pretty much running, sticking and moving all 12 rounds and trying to avoid getting hit, then I don't know too many that can do that can handle that strategy.
Right. But I do think the reason like again, styles make fights. I do think Lomachenko would pose a different threat than Ryan Garcia because he's more technical. He's
Absolutely.
really more he's really technically sound. And so he like I said, if you start to think you start to see Tank Davis is a really smart offensive fighter. It's not just he's waiting for his punch, but Lomachenko can make him think on defense too. And sometimes when you got to think on defense, it makes you hesitate on offense, and that's how you get caught too.
But
I'm not saying Lomachenko gonna win. I'm just saying it poses a different style for Gervonta to actually have to worry about.
And I don't think he would do the same strategy that he did against Frank against Lomachenko.
Yeah.
I think he would. I think what's crazy. I'm watching that. I think he would employ that same strategy against a Haney. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And against a Shakur. You know what I'm saying? But Shakur done already said it. So hey, look, I'll do whatever I got to do to win the fight. So he might not even throw a punch. You know what I'm saying? Throw a couple flurries just to get the points, and then wrestle all night. So I halfway don't even want to see that fight, to be quite honest, bro. Especially the way he talked. Like say, sometimes he be saying a lot of but sometimes with Shakur, it's some validity in some of the stuff he say. And he didn't say it. He said it when Haney and about Haney and Ryan Garcia. He said, hey, look, he should have did what he had to do to win that fight because he was winning the points. When you start talking like that, and I get it, I respect it. Win the fight. You know what I'm saying? Win the fight.
Yeah.
But we talking about styles, we talking about opponent we want to see next. I want to see Lomachenko before he get too damn old.
Right. And that's why I say it would be smart to kind of make that fight, and you can add that to you win that fight, you add that to your resume, and who knows, Lomachenko, you might send Lomachenko into retirement maybe. He might maybe have one or two more, fights just to try and get a little cash and then go. And again, bro is a soldier in the Ukraine army. Go ahead, bring him back. Hey, get him a little bit of that pay-per-view money. Let him go help the motherland, and that's it. But
these other fighters, as far as Shakur and
I don't think Shakur should be in this conversation, but
at all. But I mean, Tank put him in this conversation.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? They do a lot of talking. I think they need another fight. You got to get that nasty fight that you just had, Shakur, out of our system. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Haney, you got to get yourself back in the positive light. You know what I'm saying? Ryan Garcia, I get it. People want to see the rematch because it's money, but this is my thing. Yo, you just got caught cheating. And you got knocked out the first time. Are you really going to... We already said the rehydration clause was a problem for you. Are we really about to see you? Are you really going to do what you got to do necessary with your weight to make this fight? I don't want to see that. I'm good on everything Ryan Garcia right now, bro. You know what I'm saying? I know that Lomachenko... we're going to get to that, bro.
Okay, because...
I know that Lomachenko is a quality name. It's a quality fighter still. Before he gets old, I believe that they should make that fight next. Then everybody else can, because everybody else, y'all come through.
Right, yeah, because y'all young. But yeah, I want to because apparently, I think I know where this gentleman is from. Apparently,
absolutely,
or at least close to. Keyshawn Davis said he won next. Again, just because you say you want next, don't mean you're ready. And we've watched some of them Keyshawn fights. He finishes people he finishes them, he knocks them out. But a couple of them fights, them legs look like baby zebras, fresh out the womb after taking a couple shots. Again, Gervonta Davis hit you like that, ain't no coming back. Work on you're not that far into your career where it's like, if you don't make this fight now, it's it's never gonna happen, or it's career defining. You know what I'm saying? Like he gonna
Let
look
me
like Martin.
let me know. Let me know if this isn't too far fetched. This theory, right? Leonard Ellerby.
There you go. Sound it out.
I'm getting there. He literally said at the press conference, "This is too soon for Frank Martin. This fight is too soon for Frank Martin. I don't know why y'all was trying to rush this fight to make it happen. We really just seen it was levels to that once he got in that ring. We literally just saw this. If y'all seen the undercard, Gary A. Russell fought a quality opponent. You know what I'm saying? At times he looked like the better fighter, but that the savviness of his quality of his up in the opponent showed him that he wasn't ready for other
The
fighters.
big time.
I'm not putting Gary A. Russell on no other level than what he's at. I'm using him as an example.
Right.
Seeing Frank
No,
Martin,
I know what you're doing.
You seen Frank Martin wasn't ready. Seeing Gary Russell get a quality opponent a little too soon. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's over just because he got one loss. There's no need to rush Keyshawn, because I get it. I'm from 7'5" as well. I want everything for him. I want him to prosper. I want everything the greatness that's coming for him. But what we don't want to do is put him in the ring that damn early against Tank for what? Just because he called him out?
Right. And my thing is, like I've said it before, just because you think you on the mountain, you can call my name. You're not in my atmosphere yet. You haven't made this climb that I have yet. So what makes you think I even got to answer you when you call? And then again, if I turn around and I answer you, it could be devastating, because we've seen people get like those devastating knockouts, and then they never be the same. They never got that aggression no more. They don't have that same drive to take a punch, because now you second guessing yourself. Keep building your confidence. Keep taking those steps, man. Hey, what Smokey say? Got crawl before you walk. You know what I'm saying? And so, like I said, yeah. And I just gotta address this. I was about to say for Mother Russia, but I forgot that's who they was at war with. And so the first thing I thought of was the motherland. So it's the motherland for him. It ain't the motherland. I ain't no sellout. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Umar, don't send me no emails, don't send me no DMs. I just had to I had to clear that up. I was about to say something that was wrong. And so in order to us to not get
what?
AB was not.
No. He using your point. He using your point. He ain't been the same since he got knocked out.
Okay. I thought he was about to say like, okay, but yeah, no, he hasn't been the same since he got knocked out. Yeah. But I have, I tried to warn you about.
But he was using your point as as one. I definitely I want to see I think Frank definitely not Frank. I think Keyshawn needed up in opponents. I think
of course. I'm not saying get up there with some of the big dogs, but make a step up. It's time.
You know what I'm saying? Hey man, Shakur.
And again, I think he should fight Shakur, because you ain't got to worry about getting knocked out.
You know what I'm saying? I know he wanted to fight. I remember we seen a back and forth with him and Frank way before not way before, but a couple years back. You know what I'm saying? Make that. You get this fight. You know what I'm saying? It's a fight that can be made.
It's steps that you can take. Because here's my thing. If he fight Frank Martin next and beat Frank Martin, where can Shakur go but to fight Keyshawn?
Yeah. So, all right, man. But Tank.
Speaking of clowns,
Tank definitely has some quality opponents, a list of quality opponents that he can fight. Like you said, we have a rematch with Ryan that I don't want to see. You have Lomachenko. You have Shakur. You have you still have a Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? You still you can make some money. So it's some things that he can do out there that he don't have to rest on his laurels. And like I say, we ain't got to worry about all that he ain't fighting nobody stuff. We ain't got to worry about that no more, because now at this point, like you say, He here now. We know who the box office. We know who he is. We know where the money at. They know everybody coming for him. So and they know they got the folder whatever he asked for with them to do. He the A side. So if they want to fight, they know what they got to do. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is at this point. We will see what's next. Got a report. And JJ Redick front runner for the Lakers job. And yeah, definitely not excited about that news. I never was excited about that news. I'm at the point where anybody other than JJ. That's for me, man. I'm at the point, and it has nothing to do with JJ. JJ definitely is a bright mind in basketball. He definitely, he has the arrogance, the attitude to definitely carry himself, conduct himself. He may be a good coach for somebody else, but this Lakers job is not for the weak-hearted. This is not for the first time they ain't never coached before. This ain't got nothing to do with that, bro. And I've always had the philosophy, bro, of people just skipping the line. I'm not a fan of who. I don't give a damn who it is. Did you just walk out the door and never just because you say you got a couple things going on, bro? I'm not a fan of that, bro. I'm for everybody. I'm for everybody. You know what I'm saying? At least have one assistant coaching job under your resume. You know what I'm saying? You a Bronny draft pick away, bro. I'm done. I'm done now, bro. I'm done now. I am officially. Let me go ahead and get this right. I am officially denouncing my fandom as a Laker fan, bro. This is a joke. I understand that. I remember when the LeBron rhetoric when he was coming to LA. Oh, this is bigger than basketball for LeBron. He coming for other things, other endeavors. He doing movies now and all that. And I said to myself, Bron is Bron. He don't have to come to LA to do none of this, dog. He can do whatever he want to do, wherever he's at. Come for basketball reasons. Boom, we got a championship. We doing things. We got a championship out of the deal. Now at this point, what are we doing? We ain't doing nothing for basketball at this point. Now we just doing a show. We just doing a show because say he's still in shape. He's still the GOAT. He's still doing that. He's still giving you statistics. Is this all we doing? Are we trying to win a championship or what? Because going to get JJ Redick ain't saying nothing about the championship. You know what it's telling me? Because that's what everybody else say about the job. Oh, Bron only got 2 years left. You're gonna be fired in 2 years anyway. Okay, cool. So go ahead and hire JJ and be a shit show. And let's go and get these 2 years out the way. I'm ready for Bron. I'm ready for this Bron era of the Lakers. I'm ready for it to be over. He can leave. And it ain't got nothing to do with Bron, bro. If you ain't about basketball first, then we can be done with this, bro. We don't need to be doing this.
Since we denouncing, hey, say nothing. Robert Sacre.
I'm just saying. I mean, I'm just saying, bro.
Nah, I feel you. I wholeheartedly feel you. I've been here before. I've been here
recently with the Kobe last years, bro. But the thing about the Kobe last year, we were tanking.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, they just couldn't just say. It wasn't trust the process, but we were tanking, and they were plotting, they were trotting Kobe out there to still sell tickets. They knew what they was doing. He knew what they was doing. There's a reason why they hired Byron Scott, so the thing can go smooth. So you can babysit Kobe. They know you have actually Kobe respect you. So this thing ain't going off the rails. But we were tanking. Think about it. We was getting what? We had the 7 overall pick. We ended up getting Randall. We ended up getting the 2nd overall pick back to back. We were clearly tanking, bro. Yeah. But as Laker fans, we understood that. But we was riding with Kobe because we knew these are the last years. Bro, we are still getting a quality Bron. We just had a quality AD, a full AD season. So you mean to tell me we can't make basketball decisions first? Think about it. Even if you own some bullshit, you can't make a basketball. You can't dress it up on some basketball decisions. Out of all these assistant coaches out here, bro, Jeff Van Gundy just came out of being a consultant for the Celtics to go be an assistant coach for Tyronn Lue. You mean to tell me he can't coach? You rather go get JJ? And now you gonna try to tell me that he gonna have a veteran staff and all that, and JJ got a great mind. You mean to tell me y'all gonna let Rashad McCants make a valid point? Have y'all ever heard Rashad McCants say anything about basketball. So y'all mean to tell me y'all gonna make him sound like a prophet? Like this is bullshit, bro. And I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, bro.
It's okay. It's okay. Well, here's my thing. Good luck.
For who? I'm out, bro.
That's all I can say. Because
I'm out, bro. I'm
yeah,
out, dog. I'm out,
let me
dog.
out. Let me out, though.
Hell, Doe.
Let
Let
me
me
out.
out. I'm out, dog. I ain't doing it. I ain't do it. Think about it. And I seen Deuce in this. Let me pull it up. Matter of fact, so everybody else can see
The
it.
Cowboys.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. At the end of the day, even though my Cowboy front office do some crazy stuff, still football decisions. You can still justify some of these decisions that they're making as football decisions. Am I right or wrong, AJ, about the Cowboys?
Oh yeah, you're 100% right because you bring in Mike McCarthy thinking, okay, we got to get rid of Jason Garrett. Let's bring in Mike McCarthy. He's been sitting out. He's a Super Bowl champion. Ran an offense with Aaron Rodgers, all that. Cool. They also brought in Dan Quinn. That shit worked. One of the better defenses in the league. You know what I'm saying? Will McClay, the draft picks y'all have. I mean, it worked. I mean, even kind of the stuff that y'all have done with Dak to kind of prolong him without necessarily keep, trying to go, long-term extension. Yeah. Haven't brought in free agents. Oh, well, we're trying to save some money in the event that we got to do something.
We ain't got, like I said, you ain't got to like it. Like I said, you don't got to like it. We ain't gonna never, nobody's ever gonna like 100% of the moves that any of their teams make. But all I'm saying is, at the end of the day, they can still say these are football decisions. Football still come first when we think about these decisions. You mean to tell me out of all the candidates, bro, JJ Redick is the one? Why JJ Redick can't get hired by the Cavs then? If he's so hot, why he ain't get hired by the Cavs? Why he ain't get hired by the Hornets since he interviewed with them first? If JJ Redick's so hot, the Wizards ain't got no head coach. He ain't even interviewed it. But we all of a sudden got to be the ones to hire
I
JJ.
feel like JJ said I don't want to interview with the Wizards, but
bro, I don't give a damn what he say.
I understand that. I understand. But at the end of the day, they got in.
They go in, and it's going in without me. Hey, sorry, Kobe. Sorry, dog.
Got Kobe in the background.
Sorry, I lied to you, Martin.
You let Kobe down. You let Jason Tatum send a text to Kobe before you.
And he respond.
Man, that's crazy.
It's sad, bro. I'm sad, bro. And like I said, I want this to be the most outlandish take ever. I want us to go win it next year, and next thing you know, I got to backtrack and be like, "Oh, I'm back as a fan," and I want to do that corny shit. I want that to happen. I want to be wrong, but right now, as of now, if they make it official, this is nasty, bro. This is nasty decisions, bro. And then you're gonna draft, Bronny over there, not even working out for all the team. Who the hell is you? First up, they just tried to work out to try to get you in the league. Now all of a sudden you ain't I ain't working out for y'all. Nah, bro, you lucky to be here. Like you say, we already fought for you and try to act like, you know what I'm saying, you know what? You a quality player, you got an opportunity, you know what I'm saying? That was for the fact that you were just trying to get to the league. Like I said, we rolled with you, but now you and Rich Paul, y'all on some bull. But all right, go ahead. Go ahead.
I ain't blaming Brody, man. That's the adults in the room, man.
I blame Rich Paul.
I was gonna say I blame the adult. I blame the adults in the room. I ain't blaming Bronny.
Bronny, not Bronny, Rich Paul, Brian, Rob Pelinka, Jeannie,
Maverick, Savannah, Delonte. Say no.
Everybody, man. Linda Rambis, Kurt Rambis, all them, bro. Like this ain't making sense, bro. But all right, it's cool. It's cool. Cool. You gotta worry about me. You gotta worry about me, dog.
Magic Johnson over at the Dodgers game right now. Like,
I ain't gonna make it. Y'all catch us on all major podcast platforms. 3 Man Weave, Instagram, Twitter, 3 Man Weave. _. You can email us at podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com. I'm out, man.
All right, man. Get well soon. Until next time.